What's going on, guys? CHF here, bringing you another episode of Coaching Handheld Football, and we have got a viewer-requested video coming today. It is going to be the defensive scheme that I have been using, that I use to push all the way to Hall of Fame in the head-to-head arena. So I want to go ahead and go over that. We're going to talk about it, but first, I want to talk about the lineup, guys. There's something here that I want you guys to pay attention to. In the auction house, when you're getting cards or if you're getting them from packs, players have different levels. Level 4 players have more power. They start with 40 power, where a level 1 player starts with only 10 power, level 2 starts with 20, and level 3 starts with 30. So that massively changes how much power each player can have, and power makes a big difference when you're matching up. It can give you up to +5 overall. So guys, I want to talk about defensive strategy, but in order to do that, I want to talk a little bit about your team because it matters. You want to build your defensive strategy to match the personnel on your team. If you have 4 good defensive linemen and only 3 good linebackers, you probably want to run more 4-3 than 3-4. If you've got really good safeties to put in at the nickel and dime slot, you may want to run a little bit more nickel and dime. But anyways, that's kind of my team. You'll see that the team is not that great, but it did manage to push it all the way to Hall of Fame here, putting up well over the 925 points to get all of the gems. Let's talk defensive strategy, guys, because this is ultimately what it's going to come down to. Obviously, you can score, but you have to be able to stop them and score more. So my philosophy for doing head-to-head arena is to really just slow them down. So based on that, here's what I've got to stop 2-point plays. I've noticed that people are using a lot more inside runs. So you'll see there out of the 3-4, I basically have 2 plays, OLB strike 2 and Will Sam 3, where I've got a 5-man blitz coming. The goal being, if they're trying to do an inside run, we're stuffing up those holes, as well as putting in some pressure. And then I have 4 buzz flats because a lot of times people will default to something like a pass play, middle slant, double drag, something like that. And 4 buzz flats, if they're not ready for it, it can cause problems if they try to throw. It does make it pretty easy for them to scramble, if the quarterback just takes off. But again, the other 2 plays don't allow that. Moving on to first down, guys. What I like to see here is I'm putting in a combination of blitzes. This has been a very blitz-heavy, scheme that I put together. I knew people would run the ball a lot. I like man blitzes for those to help shut down the run. So I've got DB blitz, 1 DB blitz, as well as some zone blitzes there, plugging up the middle, and then a little bit of coverage. Second and short, I have got a situation again, a lot of blitzes coming through, and then of course the 4 buzz flats in there, just because if they see and they get used to a bunch of blitzes and they try to come out to something, where it's a pass, I just like to have a little bit of variance in there. I'm sorry, 4 buzz flats isn't in there. Free fire 3 is in there, which again is a blitz, but it has a lot of coverage there in cover 3. But you'll see that I use that in more of the medium situations and long situations. I will throw in 4 buzz flats. You'll see there, again, on the medium situations, I'm trying to bring blitzes from a bunch of different sides just so that they don't get comfortable with what they're seeing, as well as putting enough variety. The way this works is if you only put 1 play in that situation, it'll always call that play. If you put 5, basically it'll randomly hop between those 5. I personally like to go with 5 just because it makes it harder for them to get a read on what's actually happening. I've played against some people where I noticed that on second and short, they're coming out in like punt block. And I tried to run at it once. Then I tried to run it a second time. And by the time I noticed that it was there, every time I hit second and short for the remaining 2 drives, immediately just a streak route for a touchdown every single time. That's my problem with only having 1 play or even 2 plays. It just becomes a little bit more predictable. Later on, as the season progresses, especially against top leagues, it can absolutely make sense to build a custom defensive strategy at that point. But for broad playing like head-to-head arena or just the average random league out there, I think that going with filling up the brackets with 5 out of 5 plays is the way to go. Here we go on third and short again. I prefer the field goal safe zone. The way that they drop into their zones does help prevent you from getting absolutely burned. Sometimes you can get burned, but it gives you at least a chance on it. Same thing you're seeing here on short, a lot of blitzing. And then on third and short, since it is third down, I just decided to throw 4 buzz flats in there. It's a great play. So I kind of throw it in a lot of different places. You'll see here at third and medium, I particularly try to have my nickel back blitzing because I have a fast, strong safety in that nickel spot. So whenever I come out with something like here, again, I normally don't like to run cover 2. The only time I'm going to run cover 2 is really with nickel blitz 2 or with dime blitz. Reason being is they get to the quarterback fast enough that you usually don't get ripped apart. But other than that, you'll see I don't run much cover 2 at all. For 3rd and long, again, you'll see here a lot of cover 3, a little bit of cover 4. Blitz is coming from different sides. And then on 4th and short, again, that's the one time you'll see that I do break out nickel blitz 2. It does cover those flat zones decently well if someone's trying to do something like just a quick throw out into the flat. And it does get decent enough pressure that the cover 2 normally doesn't come back to bite you. But anyways, let me know what you guys are running. Let me know if there's a particular play that's, you're having a hard time beating. Again, this is just a quick one that I put together to run me through here. Again, I got a lot of testing to do in the game. So what I'm going to be doing next is essentially testing the different defensive plays. So once I've got some really good offensive plays, things like, PA slot crosses or whatever those plays may be, I want to be able to figure out what play stops it. So if you guys come to me and say, hey, someone's consistently running PA double slot or PA double corner or just some random play that you're getting beat up by, you can let me know. And if enough people want to see that, I can show you guys how to beat it. But anyways, if you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. You can count on a lot of strategy content coming for the game. I love you guys. I'll see you soon. CHF out.